Hi, I'm Denise Candal. I'm from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Estado de Sá University. This work came from the researchers of Napies, Brazil. We are a group that do research about new institutions of higher education in Brazil. Let's go. In this paper, we reflect about the role of the Brazilian higher education institutions in building an inclusive society with social responsibility based on the national education plans and numerical analysis of information provided by National Institutes for Educational Studies and Research, Anísio Teixeira, INEP, in their technical briefs of the Census of Higher Education. Several significant changes are occurring in higher education, including the transformation of higher education institutions in social organization and public entities of private nature. Federal system of higher education in Brazil is not able to absorb all demand. Private institutions should be viewed not only as institutions that prepare technically and practically for the labor market, but also as spaces of social inclusion and responsible of building an inclusive society. Well, the National Education Plan, PNE, is a planning elaborated by federal government in Brazil that presents objectives and goals followed by specific strategies for implementation. Annually in Brazil, INEP collects data on higher education in order to provide the academic community and society detailed information about the situation and major trends of the area. These reports over the years have been sensing a growing student demand, and therefore there is a need to think about a reconfiguration of higher education in general. Brazilian higher education institutions have an important role in transforming social reality of people in Brazil. PNE accents its roles in its goals. While observing the number of Brazilian higher education institutions in the 70s, one-third of the system was private. Already in 1980, 77% of the institutions were private, reaching 78% in 1998. In 2001, 86.8% of the institutions were private, reaching 88.3% in 2010. The amount of high institutions had a significant increase, 71%. This increase is mainly due to the increasing number of private institutions, 74%, while the increased number of public institutions was 52%. Between 2001 and 2010, there was an increase of 110 in the enrollment in higher institutions. And although there has been an increase in enrollment in public institutions, 74%, the most significant increase was the enrollments in private institutions, 126% increase. Well, it's consistent with the fact that the number of these institutions have grown by 74%. The number of entry into higher education institutions grew by 109 between 2001 and 2010, 78% of the entering of private institutions. The PNE established as a goal for 2010 to provide higher education to at least 30% of age group 18 to 24 years. The real supply hit in 2010 for this age group was 14%. The average schooling can be studied as a factor of social inclusion. we can see that the southeast and the south are still above the national average, and the northeast and the north below average. We can notice a decrease on the difference of urban and rural, as well as an increase in the average number of years of study in the age range considered, nearly 19%. Thinking in terms of increases in average between 2001 and 2010, the most significant increase was in the Northeast, 35%. Still remains the lowest average in Brazil and cannot be considered satisfactory. Also, we can see an increase in the average years of schooling of 24% in the Midwest region. Even in terms of schooling and its relation to social inclusion, there was an increase in the average number of years of schooling for some population subgroups. There has been a significant increase in years of schooling of Afro-descendants. In 2009 was 8.7 years, increasing by around 28%. The Northeast also saw an increase of 35% from 6.3 years to 8.5 years of study. Private higher education has not only informative aspects, but also aspects related to sustainable human development. Private higher education plays an important role in building an inclusive society, assisting the decisive transformation of the individual, society, and the country. Thank you very much.